Hi, folks. Welcome back to another Beating 42 episode. I'm going to review round 11. Lots happened, mate. How are you, Beef?
Good, buddy. Good. Another good week of footy. Bit of a disappointing round, but round 11's over. We move on.
Yep, disappointing for a few, happy for others.
True.
So we'll start with some.
Eight.
Cowboys beat the Knights. Mum's happy.
Yep. Knights just struggling without Pierce. They've just got no direction to go for. Can't score.
Oh, and massive difference. No Ponga as well, right? So take a few people out of any team, they're going to struggle. Warriors beat the Tigers.
Yep. Reece Walsh, real deal, playing really great. RTS moving to the wing for him. What a great endorsement for the young kid.
Amazing. Honestly, I'm thinking Nathan Brown, how the hell are you allowing one of the best fullbacks in the game to just step aside for a kid? Holy cow. Really, really good. Yep. Amazing. And sucked in Brisbane, letting him go. So there's one. Dragons, unfortunately, go down to the Sharks by a point.
Yeah, look, Dragons had their chances to win it, should have won it, right? But in the end, they didn't. Fuck the Sharks and fuck Chad Townsend.
Yep, Chad Townsend has actually been reamed in the bottom without any VAS. So we move on to the early Saturday game where the Tits just really struggled to win past the Dogs. And look, I mentioned last week where when Mo starts, he plays well, and he did again. But my goodness, really no good defensively.
One word, uninspiring.
Yeah. Yep. And nothing more you can say. Like 2 points to the Tits, none to the Dogs. Move on. Broncos upset the Roosters. Wow. I don't think anyone in the rugby league world picked this.
Yeah, no, I don't think anyone picked it. No one saw the carnage of Victor Radley getting binned twice and potentially a third time. You know, it was crazy game. Don't agree with everything that happened, but, maybe the Roosters are running out of people and running out of energy. So let's monitor them in the coming weeks.
Yeah, and look, I mentioned to you earlier, maybe that's the Broncos being a little bit better and a chance of still making the 8. It's a long shot, but maybe. Anyway, Storm beat the lackluster Raiders. They're in trouble.
Yeah, well, Raiders, no heart, no halfback now. Storm, undermanned big time, but still smash them.
Yeah.
Very disappointing at home for Canberra.
Massive. And look, as you say, Storm had a lot out. There's something going on in the Raiders, and no one can put a finger on it. And I'm not picking them for the next 3 or 4 weeks. So good luck to them. And then
they've got to be in. Yeah.
Then we moved on to what we thought was going to be a fantastic Sunday. And then the Rabbits just got stewed by the Panthers. What happened there?
They got absolutely smoked. I didn't see it coming. Both of us picked the Rabbits last week. So for a drudging like that, that's just shows how good the Panthers are going, right? But I think for me, draw a line through the Rabbits this year. Rabbits cannot win it.
Yep. Well, the rule is you get 50 put on you, you can't win the comp. They've had it now twice. So they can't win it next year either. So Manly upset the Eels as well in the final game on Sunday. That was a bit of a shock to me.
Yeah, it was a shock. And, Bobby Fulton passed away. Maybe they were a bit inspired by that, but played well for the old fella, for the immortal. But Parramatta just didn't seem to have it going, to me. And for me, they were a bit similar to when they got steamrolled by those Dragons about a month earlier, right? So 6 weeks earlier. You know what? We'll see what happens. In the future, right? But Manly, first few weeks, they're going to be a spooner. And now you're like, well, they could be in that bottom part of the top 8, quite comfortably.
And to be honest, power to them for putting in a much better performance than the Tigers did for their immortal guy that passed away. So, look, hands up that Manly beat the Eels. I didn't pick them. And this is the time of year where the Eels start to decline. I think it's been 3 years in a row now where the Eels have been in the top 4 in the first half of the season, and then they just fade away. So I don't know. Is this the Hindmarsh syndrome?
Yeah, well, maybe Brad Arthur's got them peaking at the right time. Let's see where they go.
That's right. Yeah, let's peak at preseason. So look, a couple of stories during the week, mate, that really piqued my interest. And George Williams, he's gone from the Raiders immediately.
Yeah, he misses his shitty weather and warm beer. So fuck off, Georgie. Back to your homeland. And look, that's a huge loss for Canberra. Basically, them letting him go is putting a line through themselves, and they're saying we can't win the comp this year. That's the way I read that, right? So Sam Williams is a decent player to come in, decent halfback. He's a good distributor of the ball, but he's not George Williams. George Williams has got some X factor to him, right? So disappointing, but we'll see what transpires there, right? So maybe the Raiders are imploding because I think Bateman gave it to them a few weeks earlier too, right? So let's monitor them in the coming period.
Yeah, I think that these two scenarios are not separate from each other. And my only point to this story is, at what point does a player become responsible for their own contract? So Canberra Raiders have signed this guy for $600,000 a year, and now they're without a halfback for the next 18 months. They've missed out on Reynolds. They've missed out on Moses because they're signed. Where's the onus come back on the player? Maybe the club can sue him for another $400,000 because they can't get a halfback now.
Yeah, I don't know. If they release him, then he's free to go, right? So
free to go for now. And then what happens now for the next 18 months? Because this guy wants to fuck off home because he's a coward.
Yeah, but then, if they release him, if they keep him under contract, then maybe they're going to try to get some money back out of the English team, right? But if they just release him, then, he's gone, so.
Yeah, I get that. And I guess my only point is, at some point, the club can't be the only person responsible for losing money on a contract. Surely the player has to as well at some stage.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So, look, you know what?
I know
there's lots of things that we don't see that are happening within the football club, right? So, Ricky's probably already got a plan B in place. So, and maybe they need to save that money to shore up a few of their other players that they got too, right? So,
is Ricky's plan B that he gets fit?
Don't see that working, right? He's a long way from his playing days.
Look, my whole bias for that conversation was that I think Ash Taylor needs to pay back the Titans. So,
nice.
So, anyway, so look, we move on to a bit of news from tonight where Victor Radley has been suspended for 5 weeks. I think that's over the top.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And Horseman Volandis has just taken it too far. And, look, it's ruining the gladiator feel to the game, right? When a shot comes up off the chest and hits the chin, where's the allowance for accident? Now, I know they'll say, oh, we'll hit lower, right? Well, you know what I mean? I think they're taking it too far. Tell me how we can be in a world where I can watch an MMA fight where 2 guys kick the living shit out of each other, right? Bloodied and bashed, and that can be a high-rating sport. Yet we're not allowed to touch anyone in a game of rugby league. Is it waivers? Is it disclaimers that people are signing? If so, then let's go down that path, because I think these guys will be signing it. It doesn't mean you go back to the thug life of the 80s, right? But it means, they're willing to say, you know what, there's some risks associated with this game. And my guess is 99% of the players will sign it because that's what they do. It's what they love. It's what they grew up on. So let's do that, because right now the toughest game in Australia is AFL, and that's a joke.
Yeah, and look, I agree with you. The only thing I say there is, I don't mind if they want to call a penalty. If someone clips someone around the ears and
sure.
it didn't hurt anyone, but it clipped them around the ears, it's a penalty. But my issue is when someone misses 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks because of something that is so incidental, that is where I have issues with this. And it's not about whether they're striking the head, it's about the penalty that they're getting for it. And James Tedesco needs to be more accountable for the way he runs into the line where he drops to his knees every time. So
yeah, and you know what I mean. He's so elusive too, right? I mean,
correct.
you know, he changes his angle, and you know, just we're talking fractions of seconds to be able to get it wrong, right?
And there's 2 guys now who have been suspended because of the way James Tedesco runs, and that's Curran from the Warriors and Dunn from the Cowboys. And to me, they are incidental. Penalty, call it, no worries. Can't be suspended for that. That is ridiculous. But anyway,
well, you know what? Let's see.
Yeah, and that's just my call on the high shots. And to be honest, I just think they're getting it wrong in the penalties. Not in the suspensions, my apologies, not in the way they're blowing the whistle. So anyway, mate, look, thanks for your feedback on round 11, and I'll look forward to talking to you about round 12 games coming up soon.
All right, take care. Enjoy footy.